A very good evening, all of you. Good evening. How are you all doing? Hello, Kashish. Hello, Mayank. How are you all doing? I'm sorry. Yesterday I wasn't here. Ashish sir is here, and I hope that, and I believe obviously that you had as much fun, and in fact more fun than you'd have with me. And I'm here today bringing you 5 words and also a very interesting quiz, right? So. Uh, I'm absolutely fine. Hello, good evening, all of you. How are you all doing? Has anything become any better all this while that I wasn't around? Did things become better? Are you guys feeling good? Hello, Dev, Gaurav, Raghav. Right, I'm going to share the screen for what we're going to be doing today. It is obviously going to be, hello, Kashish. Hi, Samyak. What we're going to be doing is obviously something related to today. We're going to be starting with songs, all right? And song skips, we will be remembering words, the basics that we generally do, right? So we're going to be doing that. Hi, Suryansh. Hello, Apurva. I'm perfectly fine, thank you. Twinkle, Aryan, Triparna, long time. How are you all? I'm actually seeing a few names after a very long time. Somehow, have you? I think you've been very busy, is what I feel, right? You've been doing a lot of studying, is what I see, right? Hello, Aryan, Chirag. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen now, and I think a lot of you have some exam tomorrow. I believe there are some people who have some exams tomorrow, so I hope that they are. If they're attending the class, then I'm going to keep it as crisp as possible. And if they're not attending the class, I'm happy that they're studying. We're gonna start with the first word. The first word they're going to do is perilous. All right. So perilous is the word. I'm going to talk to you about it. One, of course, is the options that you need to look at. I'm pretty sure that looking at the thumbnails, you won't be able to guess this song at least because it's a pretty old song, but a very nice one as well. Okay, so you would know it. And song se mat karo, please. Kyun? Abhi dheere dheere we will get into the zone of a lot of other things too. Don't worry. Perilous. First word on your screens. Let's know what the song is, and then we will discuss. Here you go. आज मौसम बड़ा बेईमान है, बड़ा बेईमान है. Okay, मौसम के बारे में डिस्कशन हो रहा है and saying कि वो बहुत बेईमान है. What do you understand by that right now? क्या सीन है? पेरिलस को हम कैसे आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं? I'm sure वो ये नहीं कह रहा कि मौसम बहुत प्लेजेंट है. I'm pretty sure कि वो मौसम को प्लेजेंट नहीं कह रहा, at least in this song. What is he saying? What do you think is he saying? मौसम कैसा है at the moment? बताओ quickly. B, risky. Right. So when they're saying बेईमान है, meaning कि risky है, अपने ही हिसाब से चल रहा है, right? बेईमान would probably mean that it's something in terms of their own whims and fancies, say the Muslim is behaving, right? So that's what perilous is. That's what risky means. All right. When you're not sure of something, this very uncertain, unsafe scenario, a very not very secure scenario is perilous. So let's look at the meaning. Mnemonic aid mein perilous can be remembered as very dangerous. Okay. It's very dangerous. So something which is risky, something you're not very sure of, you're not sure where you're getting into, what territory is this. So unexpectedly dangerous, perilous is actually unexpectedly dangerous. All right. So mnemonic aid mein very dangerous is perilous. Okay. Very dangerous is perilous. Now a lot of other words that you can think of. One of course is risky. Then there's other word that is precarious. When you're precarious, you are again entering into risky scenarios, dangerous, all right? Something that's not very secure. Treacherous, also another very good word which we generally use for things that are unexpectedly dangerous, like probably a river or an ocean or the weather or whatever. Then another word, very commonly we've done this word, I think perfidy हमने किया होगा शायद कभी किसी क्लास में. Perfidy से हम perfidious याद रख सकते हैं. Perfidious is also the same as treacherous. Yes, menti hoga. And hello Ishan, I'm perfectly fine. So risky is perilous. So बेईमान, मौसम बड़ा बेईमान है, मौसम is perilous, and that's what you're going to remember. Okay, it was a perilous journey to the south, meaning it was a dangerous one. dangerous in an unexpected manner. Like if you go and you probably, let's say Rishikesh में कभी आपने rafting करी हो, या you've probably done some bungee jumping or something. Those are all perilous sports, right? They're unexpectedly dangerous. You may never know what's going to happen, and you may never know what goes wrong. All right, that's an adjective because here we're describing the journey. We're saying कैसी journey है? Perilous journey है, dangerous है, treacherous है, risky है. All right, insidious. Okay, insidious is harmful and in a very slow manner. So, okay, perfect. Right. Is there any quants classes on this channel? I am not sure. They have their concept videos there, Isha, yes. Okay, that was the first word. Let's go to the second word. Second word के लिए देखते हैं कौन सा गाना है. The word is quotidian. I'm not sure if you've done this word before or not, but I'm going to show you this word. Listen to the song. The options are same day, every day, yoke in custody. So watch this video, then we'll talk about quotidian. Okay, here you go. A very beautiful one. I'm not sure if you've heard of this, but what do you think is quotidian? What do you understand by quotidian if the song said Rose Rose Aankhon Tale? So, or you can actually remember this as Char Bottle Vodka, Kam Mera Rose Ka. Or you could say, oh, oh, Jana Jana, ढूंढे तुझे दीवाना, सपनों में रोज आए, जिंदगी में आए. Okay, so what is quotidian? Devansh says be every day. Perfect. Very, very good. So, Rose, say you have a lot of songs. If this one doesn't work for you, I've given you two others, whichever one you wish to talk or wish to remember it by. So, every day is quotidian. Anything that is a very regular, routinely thing that's quotidian. So, I'm going to show you the mnemonic aid here. Quotidian से आप tedious याद रख सकते हो. From the second half of it, tedious आप याद रख सकते हो. If you know what tedious is anything that's boring, anything that's repetitive, alright, anything just is like हाँ मतलब इसमें कुछ नया नहीं है. That's tedious. Okay, something that's boring or repetitive. Quotidian is actually also pretty much the same thing. Anything that's ordinary, everyday, routinely, daily, alright, that is what quotidian is. A routinely thing. Hello, Prashant. So that's what quotidian is. Daily, everyday, and ordinary. The car sped noisily off through the quotidian traffic. Quotidian traffic, I mean, you'd know कि कभी भी आप DND से जाओगे, if it's the office timings, you'd know that there'll always be some traffic. If you go to Maharani Bagh, you go to AIIMS, you go to Ashram, these are places which will always, and in fact, Gurgaon, and all of these places are obviously, they'll always have traffic. It's a routinely thing, right? It's a quotidian traffic, right? Regular, everyday, ordinary, routinely, okay, that is what quotidian is. Okay, you are a teacher of English, and I think you're a pro at Antakshari. Yeah, I'm an ardent music lover. I think my entire day is filled with music, is what it is. All right, part of speech is an adjective. Adjective because here we're describing how the traffic is. It's how you describe the traffic. It's a quotidian traffic, regular. अच्छा, अगर किसी को रोज डांट पड़ती है, ऐसे आप लोग होंगे, आई एम श्योर सबको ही ऐसा होता होगा, उठते ही सुबह सुबह मम्मी पापा शुरू हो जाते हैं डांटते हैं कि जल्दी उठा करो, ये करो, वो करो, खाना क्यों नहीं खा रहे हो, पढ़ाई करने बैठो, इतना टाइम क्यों लगाते हो वॉशरूम में, you know, and so on and so forth. मतलब ये रोज का है कि शायद रोज कुछ लोग तो रोज पिटते भी है. I have personally known some people and very close to me, people who are really close to me, उनका routinely होता था कि उनको पिटना है. They'll always be, and if he does not or she does not get, you know, rebuked and then also beaten up, it would be a very unusual day, probably birthday. That person does not get beaten up. So that's quotidian. Quotidian marketing, quotidian scolding, rebuking. Okay, basically anything that happens in a very routine fashion, nothing new. That's quotidian. Okay, monotonous, absolutely. 90s type radio channel bana diya hai. Oh, I know that's a good thing. So that was the third one. Okay, I'm going to talk about the fourth word now. Let's see what the fourth word is. The word is protein. So protein word के लिए कैसे याद रखना है आपको? You will have to look at, my mom yells at me through my quotidian sleepy schedule. Yes. Okay, perfect. So protein ke liye you have options still, stagnant, ever changing, and consistent. So I'm gonna first, obviously, I think you may be able to guess the song. This one's very nice and a very common one. So I'm gonna play this, listen to it, then we will discuss. Here we go.
हर घड़ी बदल रही है रूप जिंदगी, छाँव है कभी कभी है धूप जिंदगी.
So what do you think is protein? हर घड़ी बदल रही है रूप जिंदगी, छाँव है कभी कभी है धूप जिंदगी. So what do you think? This is, what do you think? Still, stagnant, ever changing, consistent? In a good way, yes. Thank you. So what do you think? Third word. Acha, okay. Fine. So ever changing, something that is very changeable, something that can obviously metamorphose and it can change, it can be a variety and variable, basically anything that can change, right? So protein is exactly that. Let's look at the mnemonic here. Now, maybe when you don't eat enough protein, okay, when you don't eat enough protein, then what will happen is that in the body, in your body, your protein levels will change, okay. आप ज्यादा खा लो प्रोटीन तो your protein levels will increase. अगर आप कम खाओगे प्रोटीन, so the protein levels will decrease. They will not be consistent. They will not be stagnant. They will not be consistent. If you stop consuming protein, you will not be able to keep a consistent level. All right. So they will reduce. They kind of will diminish. If you start eating more, what will happen is that your protein levels will increase. So protein levels are actually protein. You would think about it. Anything, in fact, all your vitals, they are protein. They can change. They're tending to change very frequently. They're variable, they're changeable, and they're mutable. Okay, ever changing. So it's difficult to plan a protein life. Now, if a life, and generally everybody's life is protein, you'd see that no one person's life will always be the same. It's not like everybody will have the same life from the very starting to the very end, right? So life in general is transient. Life is in general is tending to change frequently. So you can think of life being protein, all right? Life being protein as in चेंज होएगी, हमेशा ही होगी, अभी अच्छी है कभी बुरी हो जाएगी, so on and so forth. It's an adjective because we are talking about life here. Plus you see able jahan pe bhi aata hai, we generally consider that an adjective. So this one's an adjective because you have able in it. All right. So tending to change frequently, ever changing, changeable and mutable. This is protein. So you'll remember it through protein levels in your body. ठीक है, चलो अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट वर्ड पे. आई थिंक इट्स द फोर्थ वर्ड नाउ. सो लेट्स लुक एट द फोर्थ वर्ड. हियर यू गो ऑन योर स्क्रीन्स. Okay, so the word is adrift. Adrift is the word. I think you probably will be able to guess the song this time around, but your options are respectable, slide, habitual and directionless. You want to watch this video, remember the song, relate the song to the word, and then tell me what the meaning of the word adrift here is. Here you go. Plus, there's Gabru written here, so I'm sure you'll be able to guess which song we're going to be talking about, or at least which movie we're going to be talking about. Here you go. Listen.
जिदाना मोहब्बत गुम है गुम है गुम है.
Oh, so you had actually, Triparna has already answered the song, at least she's guessed the song, which is amazing, brilliant. So it says ek kudi jida na mohabbat gum hai, and if you say gum, so it is directionless. It is when you are absolutely no idea of where you're going, what you're doing. There's nobody to guide you. You're going on your own whims and fancies, but there is no set direction, no set path, right? So directionless, absolutely correct. That's your answer. Let's look at adrift, okay? अच्छा, हमें पता है कि is generally a negative root word, but this time around, I mean, adrift is not it's not based in etymology, and here it's not used in the sense that it's not plus drift, but I mean, just for the sake of our mnemonic aid, we're going to be thinking of as a negative root word, and then we say drift. Drift means move, right? So if you are negatively moving, When you are negatively moving, you're basically moving, but you're not sure of where you're going. That is adrift. Okay, so when you are directionless, you're moving without guidance, you're almost like lost, right? You are without anybody's guidance, without anybody's help, so you're almost lost, you're directionless, whom as this word is used in the song. But if we want to use this A as a negative root word for our convenience, and drift is to move, then which is negatively drift or negatively move would then mean that it is directionless. He felt adrift in the city of New York, meaning he felt lost. He felt directionless. There was nobody to help him around because it was a big city and he was probably visiting for the first time, right? So he was completely directionless, completely motiveless, had no idea what to do. And this is something that can happen to you even in your college days. The first few weeks or first few months would be where you will absolutely be adrift. You'd be completely adrift in your college because you have no idea what to do unless, of course, somebody helps you out with it. Adjective hai because we're talking about he and we're saying how he felt adrift, so he astrayed. Okay, to astray, that's a verb, so adjective would be that person felt astrayed, right? So here obviously you also see that adjective में LESS लगा हुआ है, so when you have LESS in the meaning, you always think that it's an adjective. This was our fourth word. Last word पे चलते हैं, which I'm not sure if you've done with Ashish sir or not, but let's just have a look at it and एक revision भी कर लेंगे. So the word is estranged. So if you've done it with your sir, then you'd probably be able to tell me what the meaning of the word is. But let's first listen to the song, and then you probably want to relate the song to the options here. Here you go.
अभी ना जाओ छोड़ कर के दिल अभी भरा.
Okay, नहीं बोला भैया. Right. So what do you think is estranged? If it's अभी ना जाओ छोड़कर ये दिल अभी भरा नहीं. Can you remember this by वो दिन ना किसी मंजिल की फिक्र थी? Oh yes, yes, absolutely. Perfect. So what do you think is estranged? What do you think is estranged? To distance, to care, to annoy, to call out. To distance. Right. So when you are estranging yourself, you're basically distancing yourself from somebody. In terms of your affection for them, you're alienating them, you're leaving them. All right. What is the article used with homage? Beta homage के साथ a लगता है, and नहीं लगता, a लगता है, because the sound is homage. Homage है तो a लगता है, ठीक है? All right. Distance के लिए estrange, how can you remember estrange? If you become a stranger, you're basically estranging that person. If you also remember that song, तेरे लिए ही तो सिग्नल तोड़ ताड़ के आया दिल्ली वाली गर्लफ्रेंड छोड़ छाड़. So the छोड़ छाड़ के is basically दिल्ली वाली girlfriend को estrange करके, right? So estranging basically is to no longer be affectionate to that person, to abandon that person, to alienate. So to become a stranger is estrange. So her lifestyle estranged her from her parents. Her lifestyle estranged her from her parents basically means this lifestyle, with this action of making her alienated from her parents. Maybe her choices were a little different from what her parents would want, and that distanced her from her parents. Okay, she kind of became no longer affectionate to her parents because of her lifestyle. So it's a verb. क्योंकि हम यहाँ पे बोल रहे हैं to alienate, to no longer be affectionate, or to abandon somebody. So her lifestyle did this action of distancing her from her parents, right? And that's what estrange is. That's the fifth word that we're supposed to do, and that's pretty much it for the words part of the section. Let's now go to the mentee part of the whole thing. I'm going to share the screen with the mentee thing here on your screens. Today what we're going to be doing is that I'll be giving you idioms. You have to complete the idioms. All right, you have to complete the idioms using the options given on your screen. Is the code, which is 48593668, which is again 48593668. So everybody start joining in. You have your mentee, चलो जल्दी से आ जाते हैं. And of course, this time around, and these idioms that I'm using, you've probably done it in your handouts, or probably through your knowledge primer, or somewhere or the other, you must have seen these idioms are not very, very complicated. So I've kind of made it the least complicated as I could, because I know that you're already very stressed. So even if you don't land up in the top 10 or top 20, it's absolutely fine. So don't stress yourself too much. Keep joining in. जल्दी जल्दी आते जाओ. जाते नहीं कहीं दूर रिश्ते पुराने किसी नए के आ जाने से. ओहो. Oh yes, Harshita, absolutely, very good. I think I should give you a call every time I'm making a class, because then that will help with your creativity as well. It's brilliant. Yes, so that's good. All right. I am going to start off now. I have about 40, 20 almost bang. Koi baat nahi. Suryansh is, very charged up, and he wants to show to the world that he knows. So it's absolutely. Chalo, theek hai. On your screens is the first question, which I want you guys to look at. Jaldi se aa jao. In the meantime, I'm showing you the first question. Here you go. Acha, 1 minute rukna hai. On your screens. Chalo. First question is, be at dash drawn means your bitter enemies. Be at dash drawn. Be at swords drawn, guns drawn, or daggers drawn. This is an easy one. It's actually to be at daggers drawn. Okay. When you're being a daggers drawn with somebody, you're basically showing that that person is an enmity with you. All right. That person is not very friendly. You have a hostile relationship. It's not swords drawn, even though it does make sense. But your idiom goes like, be at daggers drawn. Okay, daggers are smaller versions of swords, which was essentially used even by the smallest of or the most ordinary of men back when these idioms were in place. So be at daggers drawn is when you are not very friendly and we're very hostile with each other. Okay, I'm going to show you the leaderboard on your screens. Let's look at the leaderboard. All right, so Ash is on top, then you Pratik, Ananya, Selena Gomez, Komal Ishita, HK, Triparna, Aryan, and Super King. That was the first question. I'm going to show you the second question now on your screens, everyone. So it's okay, like I'm saying, don't stress yourself with these questions. It's just to learn, okay? On your screen, second question. By the skin of one's dash means narrowly. By the skin of one's leg, by the skin of one's teeth, by the skin of one's hair. Okay, very good. 28 of you answered correctly. And by the skin of one's teeth is narrowly, only just. मतलब बहुत ही छोटे margin से कोई चीज रह गई. So if let's say you lost a game by the skin of your teeth, meaning you lost the game with very narrow margin. Okay. If you probably passed an exam, सिर्फ एक mark से या आधे mark से आप pass हो गए, so you've passed that exam by the skin of your teeth. All right, you've passed the exam बहुत ही slight margin से, बहुत ही narrowly आप pass हुए हो. अगर आपने ठीक से नहीं किया होता, तो you would have failed. So by the skin of one's teeth or by the breadth of your hair. Okay, those are the two idioms which mean the same. By the skin of one's teeth or by the breadth of one's hair. Okay, both mean the same thing. So, लीड बोर्ड पे देखते हैं क्या हो रहा है अब. Who has topped? Who is on top? Who is not? So Pratik is on top. All right. Then you have Selena, Komal, Aryan, Suparna, Ananya, Harshita, Ishita, Yash, and Gaurav. Ash, आप कहेंगे बेटा? चलो, buck up, जल्दी से वापस आ जाओ on the leaderboard. Third question पे चलते हैं. After this, let's look at what the third question is. Third idiom that you're going to be learning from this one. Here you go. ये रहा आपके सामने थर्ड क्वेश्चन. Throw the dash means to challenge someone. वो two double times आ गया है, but to challenge someone. Throw the gauntlet, glove or hand. Throw the gauntlet. Very good. So to throw the gauntlet is to give a challenge or to kind of initiate a challenge where you are actually putting someone in position and saying, I'm throwing the gauntlet to you, means you're ready to challenge that person. Gauntlet in idiom's language generally means challenge. But what is gauntlet otherwise? If you must have, आपने Thanos का वो देखा होगा, you must have seen a Thanos वाला situation. That thing, that armor is called a gauntlet. Okay, that's what a gauntlet is. So throw the gauntlet basically means to challenge someone or to tell them that I'm up for a fight. If you're accepting the gauntlet, however, if you're accepting the gauntlet, you are accepting a challenge, because gauntlet in idiom's language means a challenge. So accepting the gauntlet would be to accept a challenge. Okay, leaderboard pe chalte hain very quickly. Let's see who has made it to the leaderboard now. Okay, Pratik still on the leaderboard and on the top position. Then you have Aryan, Komal, Ananya, Selena, Gaurav, Raghav, Vishta, Shreya, and Harshita. Okay, let's now go to the fourth question. Fourth question on your screens. Here we go. Fourth question. Chalo. To be a dash blanket means to be a spoil sport. To be a dirty blanket, angry blanket, or a wet blanket. Okay, so it is when you are being a wet blanket is when you're being a spoil sport. What do we understand by a spoil sport? Also, in your spoil sport, this word, generally speaking, you don't have this gap. So spoil sport's one whole word. All right, you don't have this gap in between these two words. But anyway, to be a wet blanket is to basically be that one person who's ruining everybody's fun. Who's ruining everybody's fun for them. Maybe crying, maybe being very persnickety, maybe being like, okay, मुझे यहाँ नहीं जाना, मुझे वहाँ जाना है, and you don't do that. या फिर मुंह फुला के घूम रहा है. You know, in a party or in a social gathering or in a place where you would otherwise have fun, this one person is that one person who will not let you have fun. That's a spoil sport. That's being a wet blanket. All right, so not a dirty blanket or an angry blanket, but a wet one. चलो, on your screens, let's look at the leaderboard now. क्या scene है leaderboard में, ये देख लेते हैं. Okay. So still, Pratik looks like he's taking the lead. Right. So Pratik is on top. Then you have Aryan, Komal, Ananya, Selena, Raghav, Gaurav, Ishita, Suparna, and Super King. Perfect. Let's go to the last word. Last question for your mentee. And here you go on your screens. Let's do this. Question number 5 on your screens, everyone. To dash is an opinion. If you give a to dash, you're giving an opinion. So to give 2 words, 2 penny or 2 cents, which one is correct? Okay, so penny for your thought is a different thing altogether. All right, and giving 2 cents is giving an opinion. When you're giving 2 cents, you are giving an opinion. Okay, my 2 cents is my opinion. If I'm giving you my 2 cents, I'm giving you my opinion. Generally speaking, it's an unsolicited one, meaning that they didn't really ask me to give it, but I'm giving it anyway. Free key advice. Okay, free key advice is 2 cents. All right. When you say penny for your thought, however, if I want to, let's say, ask someone, what are they feeling, what are they thinking, kya chal raha hai unke dimag mein, and if I want to ask them, I don't want to probably say, what are you thinking? I probably would want to say, penny for your thoughts. Meaning, I am all ears, meaning I'm ready to listen to what you're thinking. All right. So if you're telling someone penny for your thoughts, you're basically asking them what they are thinking. So it's the complete opposite of it. All right. So if I say penny for your thoughts, I'm actually looking for your thoughts. I'm actually looking for what's going on in your mind. But if I say my 2 cents, I'm basically saying my unsolicited opinion towards this is so and so. All right, so it's 2 cents. Right, let's now go to the leaderboard. Let's see who has made it to the leaderboard finally. Last question tha kyunki ye. Okay, Pratik answered incorrectly. He still manages to be the top 5 May. Aryan has topped this one. Very, very good. Congratulations, Aryan. Very well done. Komal, Ananya, Pratik, Raghav, Super King, then you Ash, Selena, Gaurav, and Ishita. Congratulations, all 10 of you. You guys have been wonderful. This was a very interesting one because a lot of things you probably know already, but there are a lot of things that you did not. So it's good that you are in the top 10. Even if you have not made it to the top 10, it's absolutely fine as long as you learn something every day. All right. Until next time that I see you guys, take care of yourselves. Be good. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Take lots of and plenty of sleep and rest. And keep studying. Happy learning. Good night, everyone. Bye.